Hi, welcome to this Corbettmaths video. In this video, we're going to look at the video solutions to the enlargements practice questions and those ones that are based on negative scale factors. If you need any extra help on dealing with negative scale factors, if you go to the videos and worksheets section on Corbettmaths and scroll down to video number 108, that's the video tutorial on negative scale factors. In this video, we're going to focus on the video solutions to the practice questions, so let's get started. Okay, question number one. So question number one, we've got this question, we've got this grid, and we've got this L shape labelled A, and we've got this P. And the question says, enlarge shape A by scale factor -3 using P as the centre of enlargement. So we're enlarging this shape by scale factor -3, and this is the centre of enlargement. So to do this, I'm going to focus on each point of the shape. So I'm going to start with looking at each point. So I'm going to start with this point here. And to get from the centre of enlargement to this point, we go 3 to the left and 1 down. Now, because it's scale factor -3, what we're going to do is we're going to go 3 times as far away, but in the opposite direction. So instead of going 3 to the left and 1 down, so we're going to times that by 3 and go the opposite way. So we're going to go 9 to the right, because 3 times 3 is equal to 9. And instead of 1 down, we're going to go 3 up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. So that point's going to move to there. Let's just check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. So we've done this point. Now let's do this point. It's 2 to the left and 1 down. So we're going to multiply that by 3 and go the opposite direction. So it's going to be 6 to the right and 3 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 3 up. 1, 2, 3. So that's that point there. And as you can see, what's great is that length there, and now it used to be 1, it's now 3 here on the shape. Okay, this point here, it's 1, 2, 3 to the left and 1, 2, 3 down. So we're going to times that by 3, so it's going to be 9 and 9, and it's going to be 9 to the right and 9 up. So let's do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 9 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's going to be there. Okay, next, this point here. So this point here was 1 to the left and 3 down. So we're going to go 3 to the right and 9 up. So 1, 2, 3, and then 9 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's going to move to there. And then, so we've done this point, this point, this point, this point. Let's do this point here. So it was 1 to the left and 2 down. So we're going to go 3 to the right and 6 up. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's there now. So let's see our shape's forming. Now at this point we could actually draw a shape. You can actually see where it's going to be. But actually going to do our last point, this point here. So it was 2 to the left and 2 down. So we're going to go 6 to the right and 6 up. So let's do that. So 6 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's there. And now let's join them up. And that's it. So the question says, enlarge shape A by scale factor -3 using P as centre of enlargement. So as you can see, it's 3 times bigger, but it's in the opposite direction. So that's -3, our scale factor. And that's it. So that's where the shape would be. Okay, next, question number 2. Okay, question number 2, we've got this rectangle, and the question says, enlarge shape A, this rectangle, by scale factor -2 using P as a centre of enlargement. So we're going to enlarge this rectangle by scale factor -2 using P as a centre of enlargement. Okay, so let's start off with this point. It's 1 to the left and 1 up. So we're going to do, because the scale factor is -2, we're going to go 2 to the right and 2 down. 1, 2. Okay, next, this point here, it was 1 to the left and 1, 2, 3 up. So we're going to double it and go the opposite direction. So instead of going 1 to the left and 3 up, we're going to go 2 to the right and 6 down. So 1, 2, and then 6 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's now there. So we've done these two. Now let's do this one here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left and 1 up. So doubling it would be 8 to the right and 2 down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 2 down. 1, 2 would be there. And finally, this point here was 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left and 1, 2, 3 up. So double that would be 8 to the right and 6 down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 6 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's there. So we've got our 4 points. Now let's just join them up. And that's it, we've drawn the rectangle, and the question doesn't say we have to label it anything, so that's it, we've enlarged this rectangle A by scale factor -2 using P as a centre of enlargement, and it would be there, just making it twice as far away in the opposite direction. Okay, our next question, question number 3. So question number 3, we've got this triangle A, and the question says, enlarge triangle A by scale factor -1/2 using P as a centre of enlargement. So we're using scale factor -1/2. So it means the distances will be halved, but we'll be going the opposite direction. So let's start off with this point here. So this point here is 1, 2 to the right and 1, 2 up. So instead of going 2 to the right and 2 up, we're going to half it and go the opposite direction. So instead of going 2 to the right and 2 up, we're going to go 1 to the left and 1 down. So that will be there. Okay, our next point, this point here, it was 1, 2 to the right and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. So instead of going 2 to the right and 6 down, we're going to half it and go the opposite direction. So it's going to be 1 to the left and 3 up. So 1 to the left and 3 up, 1, 2, 3 will be there. So we've done that point, we've done that point. Now let's do this point here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. So instead of 6 to the right and 6 down, we're going to half it and go the opposite direction. So it's going to be 3 to and 3 up, so that'll be there. So 1, 2, 3 and 3 up, 1, 2, 3 would be there. So we've got our points, now we just need to join them up. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 4. So question number 4, we've got this grid and we've got this rectangle, and the question says, enlarge this rectangle by scale factor -2 using the origin. So the origin, remember, is 0, 0 as the center of enlargement. So we want to enlarge this rectangle using the origin as center of enlargement, and the scale factor is -2. So it means that all the points are going to be twice as far away in the opposite direction. So this point is 1 to the right and 1 up. So we're going to double it and go the opposite way. So it's going to be 2 to the left and 2 down, which would be there. This point here was 1 to the right and 2 up. So we're going to double it. So it's going to be 2 to the left and 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4 would be there. This point here is 3 to the right and 1 up. So we're going to double it. So it'll be 6 to the left and 2 down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 2 down. 1, 2 will be there. And finally, this point here, you can see it's going to be there, but let's just check it. 3 to the right and 2 up. So we're going to go 6 to the left and 4 down. So 6 to the left and 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's it. So we've got our 4 points. Now let's join them up. And that's it. So we've enlarged this rectangle by scale factor -2 for using the origin as the center of enlargement, and that's where it would be. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 5. So question number 5, we've got this grid and we've got this triangle P, and we've been asked to enlarge triangle P using scale factor -2 using center of enlargement 2, -3. So let's plot the center of enlargement. 2, -3 would be there, and the scale factor is -2, so all the points are going to be twice as far away in the opposite direction. Okay, so in terms of the top of the triangle here, that's 2 to the right and 1 down, so we're going to go 4 to the left and 2 up, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and 2 up, 1, 2 would be there. This point here was 1 to the right and 3 down, so we're going to double it and go the opposite direction. So it's going to be, instead of 1 to the right and 3 down, we're going to go 2 to the left and 6 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be there. And then finally, this point here, it was 1, 2, 3 to the right and 3 down. So doubling it, going the opposite way, would be 6 to the left and 6 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 6 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's it. So we've got our 3 points. Now let's join them up, and that'll be our triangle. And that's it, we've done it. We've enlarged triangle P using scale factor -2 using center of enlargement 2, -3. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 6. So question number 6, we've got this trapezium, and the question says to enlarge the shape, so that trapezium, by scale factor -3 using center of enlargement -4, 1. So -4, 1 would be there, that's the center of enlargement, and we need to enlarge this trapezium using scale factor -3, so that means that all the points are going to be 3 times as far away in the opposite direction. So this point, instead of being 1 up, we're going to go 3 down, 1, 2, 3, that would be there. Okay, this point here, that's 2 left and 1 up, so we're going to multiply by 3, so it's going to be 6 right and 3 down, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 3 down, 1, 2, 3 would be there. So we've done these 2 points, now let's do this point here. That was 2 to the left and 2 up, so we're going to go multiply by 3, 6 to the right and 6 down, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's going to be there. And finally, this point here, it's 1 to the left and 3 up, so we're going to times that by 3, so it's going to be 3 to the right and 6 down. So 1, 2, 3 to the right and 6 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that'll be there. So if we've now got our 4 points, we can just join them up, and that's going to be our trapezium. So let's do that. And that's it. We've enlarged this shape by scale factor 3 using -4, 1 as the center of enlargement, and that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. Okay, so question number 7. So question number 7, we've got this large triangle, and we've been asked to enlarge this triangle by scale factor -1/2 using center of enlargement 2, 0. So 2 zeros there, that's the center of enlargement, and we want to enlarge it by scale factor -1/2. So it means all the distances are going to be halved, but in the opposite direction. Okay, so let's start off with this point here. It's 2 to the right and 2 down. So we're going to halve that. It's going to be 1 to the left and 1 up. So 1 to the left and 1 up will be there. Okay, next, this point here, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the left and 2 down. So we're going to half that and go the opposite direction. So instead of 6 to the left and 2 down, we're going to go 3 to the right and 1 up. So 1, 2, 3 and 1 up will be there. Okay, and then finally this point here, it's 1, 2 to the right and 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So we're going to half that and go the opposite direction. So it's going to be 1 to the left and 2 down. 1, 2. So that'll be there. So we've now got our 3 points. Let's join them up to make our triangle. So there, to there, to there. And that's it. We've enlarged the triangle by scale factor -1/2 using 2 zeros as centre of enlargement. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 8. So we've got this trapezium, and the question says to enlarge the shape by scale factor -2 using centre of enlargement 0, 6. So 0, 6, 0, 6 would be there. So we're going to enlarge this trapezium by scale factor -2. That means that all these points are going to be twice as far away in the opposite direction. So let's start off with this point. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left and 1 up. So if we double it, go the opposite direction, that'll be 8 to the right and 2 down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 2 down. 1, 2 would be there. Okay, next, this point here, it's 1, 2 to the left and 2 up. So we're going to double it, go the opposite direction. So that's going to be 4 to the right and 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4 would be there. This point here, it's 2 to the left and 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So we're going to go 4 to the right and 8 down. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 8 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got the 6. We need to go another 2. 7, 8 will be there, and we can actually see the last point is going to be here. Let's just check it. So if we have a look, this point here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left and 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So that'll be 8 to the right and 8 down. So 8 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 8 down. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it. So let's join those points up, and that's it. We've enlarged that shape by scale factor -2 using the centre of enlargement 0, 6, and it would be there. That's where the shape would be, and that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 9. So question number 9 says, Saoirse was asked to enlarge triangle A, so this triangle A, by scale factor -2 using centre 4, 3. So centre 4, 3, yeah, that's right, and scale factor -2, so scale factor -2. And then the question says, explain the mistake that Saoirse has made. So Saoirse has made a mistake. We need to find what mistake Saoirse has made. Okay, so let's start off with this point here. So scale factor -2 would be, instead of going 1 to the left, we would go 2 to the right. So 1, 2, that point's right, so that's right. Okay, let's now look at this point. It's 1, 2, 3 to the left, so we're going to go 6 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's right. Let's have a look at this point here. It was, if we look at this one, it's 1, 2 to the left and 1, 2 down. So instead of going 2 to the left and 2 down, we're going to go 4 to the right and 4 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right and 4 up. 1, 2, 3, oh, 4. It should be there. So that's it. You can actually see it's wrong because the shape shouldn't change. This isosceles triangle, it doesn't look as maybe as short as that one or as stout as that one. So it should actually be a bit higher. It should go to this point here. So that's what the triangle should look like. So if I actually join where the 3 points should be, so there, there, and there, you actually see the triangle should be a bit taller. So let's explain that mistake. And that's it. I've just explained that the point at the top of the triangle, so the point at the top of this triangle should be plotted at 8, 7. So 8, 7, not 8, 6. And that's it. You made a mistake with that point. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. So question number 10. So question number 10, we've got these two shapes, these two pentagons. Let's just check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides is a pentagon. So we've got pentagon A and pentagon B. And then the question says, describe fully the single transformation that maps shape A onto shape B. So what transformation brings A to B? So in other words, what's the transformation that's taking place here? Okay, so we want to find out what transformation is taking place. So we know it's an enlargement because the two shapes are different sizes, so there has to be an enlargement. And as you can see, it's instead of being upright like this pentagon here, it actually looks like it's being flipped over. So that means it's going to be a negative scale factor because you can see it's kind of being flipped. So there's going to be a negative scale factor. And let's actually see how much bigger that scale factor is. So in terms of this shape A, in terms of its base is 2 across. But if we have a look at this length here, this corresponds corresponding length, it's got a length of 1, 2, 3, 4. So that length's been doubled. So this length from here to here, it was 2. It's on this one, it's 4. And if we look at the two vertical sides of this pentagon A, so this line and this line, they've both got a length of 2. But if we look at B, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see the lengths have been doubled. So it's an enlargement by scale factor -2. And I know it's -2 because it's been flipped over. So let's write that down. An enlargement by scale factor -2. But remember, we need to write down where the center of enlargement would be. So let's write that down using center of enlargement, center of enlargement. So we now need to find where the center of enlargement would be. Now, to find where the center of enlargement is, what we need to do is join up the corresponding points. And if we join up the corresponding points, we'll find that they intersect, those lines intersect at a particular point, and that's where the center of enlargement would be. So let's do that. So let's get a ruler and pencil, and we're going to join up the corresponding points. So this point and this point, they're corresponding points. So let's join that one up with that one there. So that means the center of enlargement will be along that line somewhere. So I'm sort of looking at it thinking, is it this point or is it this point? Now let's join up another pair of corresponding points. Now this point here, it would be corresponding to this one. Remember, it's been flipped over, so this one will be corresponding to this one. If, for instance, you thought it was actually that one, you would see that that line doesn't cross the other line, so that one wouldn't be right. And as you can see here, those two lines cross at this particular point here. That's going to be the center of enlargement. This point here, 2, 2. That's the center of enlargement, 2, 2. There, because you can see those two lines, as you join up those corresponding points, cross at that particular point there. Now you can test it. Let's actually join up another pair of corresponding points. Let's join up this one with the one up here, so this one here to the one down here, and as you can see, again, they cross at that point 2, 2, and that's it. So that's the center of enlargement, 2, 2. So let's write that down. And that's it. So there's been enlargement by scale factor -2 using center of enlargement 2, 2. Okay, let's look at our next question. Okay, question number 11. So question number 11, we've got these two shapes, A and B, and the question says, describe fully the single transformation that maps A onto B. So A onto B. So if you have a look at A, it's been flipped over because the right angle was here at the bottom right-hand corner, and with B, it's the top left-hand corner. So it's been flipped over, and it's a bit smaller B than A, so there's been an enlargement. Now, because B is smaller, we know it's going to be a fractional scale factor, such as a quarter or a half or something like that, but there's been an enlargement here. So let's write that down, an enlargement, and enlargement. So we've written down it's an enlargement, and then by scale factor. Now let's find the scale factor. We know it's going to be negative because it's been flipped over. Let's write negative. Now we want to go from A to B, so A to B. So from A to B. So if we look at this length, it's got a length of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then in terms of this length here, because if we flip it over, the bottom will become the top, it's got a length of 2. So if that's got a length of 6 and that's got a length of 2, that means that this length is a third of that length. It's been divided by 3. It's a third of it. Let's compare the heights. The height of A was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the height here of B is 1, 2, 3. And again, you can see we've divided it by 3. It's a third of it. So it means the scale factor will be negative a third. So negative a third. And now we need to write down the center of enlargement using center of enlargement, center. And we just need to write down the coordinates of the center of enlargement. So let's join up those corresponding points. So let's join up where the right angles are. So here and here, there would be corresponding points there and there. Let's join those up. This one here, well, that one would be corresponding to this one here, because remember, we're flipping it over. So that bottom left would become the top right. And this one here would actually be down there. And as you can see, all those lines cross at that particular point there. That's going to be the center of enlargement here. And that center of enlargement is the point with coordinates 5, 4. So it's the point 5, 4. So let's write that down using center 5, 4. And that's it. So there's been enlargement by scale factor negative a third using center 5, 4. Okay, let's have a look at one last question, question number 12. Okay, so question number 12, we've got this grid and we've got two triangles, A and B. And the question says, describe fully the single transformation that maps A onto B. So what transformation takes A onto B? Okay, so first of all, if we have a look at A and have a look at B, they're different sizes. So there's going to have been an enlargement, there's been an enlargement, and it's been flipped over. The right angle of A is at the bottom left-hand corner, and at B is the top right-hand corner. So that means there's an enlargement with a negative scale factor. So let's write that down. Okay, so I've written down an enlargement by scale factor negative, because we know it's a negative scale factor, and it's an enlargement. Let's find the scale factor of enlargement. So the base of A had a length of 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's got a length of 4. And in terms of this length here, because that'll be the corresponding length, that length, and that length. So whenever we do our enlargement, remember it's flipped over, and it's got a length of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many times bigger would it be? Well, if we do 6 divided by 4, that'll be how many times bigger it would be. For instance, if it was 8, 8 divided by 4 is 2, so that means the scale factor of enlargement will be 2. So if we take our 6 and we divide that by 4, that'll tell us our scale factor of enlargement. So let's half it and half it again. Half of 6 is equal to 3, and half of 3 is equal to 1.5. So that means the scale factor of enlargement is 1.5. If you multiply 4 by 1.5, you get 6. And let's just check that with the height. The height of this one was equal to 2, 1, 2, and the height of this one is 3. And if we take our 3 and we divide it by 2, 3 divided by 2 is equal to 1.5. So that means the scale factor of enlargement would be negative 1.5, because it's 1.5 times bigger in the opposite direction. So let's write that down, negative 1.5. Now we need to find where the center of enlargement would be. So using center, and let's write down the coordinates of the center of enlargement. So let's join up those corresponding points again. So here, where the right angle would be, so there and there. That one's quite straightforward. Let's now join up this one with the one over there. So that's there. Let's join up this one here with the one above. So actually that's on top of the other line. So you can see there would be the center of enlargement. That's the point 1, 2. So that's the center of enlargement, 1, 2. And that's it. And let's just check that. To get from here to here, we would go 2 up. So if we times that by 1.5, well, 2 times 1.5 is 3, so it'll be 3 down. So 1, 2, 3. So that's it. So the center of enlargement is 1, 2. And that's it. So it's been enlargement by scale factor negative 1.5 using center 1, 2. And that's it. So that's it. So these have been the video solutions to the enlargements practice questions focused on negative scale factors. I really hope you found this video useful. If you have found it useful, please like it and please subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you need any extra help in this topic, if you go to Corbettmaths and go to the videos and worksheets section, or scroll down to video number 108, there's a dedicated video show there on negative scale factors. And that's it. So it's quite a nice topic. I really hope you found this video useful. Again, if you have found it useful, please like it and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.